Okay, close your eyes for a second. If I say typical German, what pops into your head?
Huh?
Probably someone tall, right?
Yeah.
Blonde hair, maybe striking blue eyes.
Yeah, that's the common picture.
And let's be honest, that image didn't come from nowhere, did it?
No, definitely not.
Decades of, cultural stuff,
Yeah.
Olympic athletes, historical art, even propaganda, they've really hammered that look home.
Absolutely cemented it in many minds.
But, us here on The Deep Dive, we like to dig a bit deeper. So is that really the full story?
Probably not, I guess.
Exactly. Today we're diving into Germany. It's right there, smack bang in the heart of Europe. And arguably it's one of the most genetically and, culturally layered places on the continent.
A real crossroads, yeah.
Yeah. What we're going to unpack is why Germans actually look way more varied than many people think. It's this, rich tapestry of appearances that changes quite a bit, from icy Saxony up north down to the sort of forested hills of Bavaria.
And that position, right at Europe's core, is key. Germany's basically functioned as this huge melting pot for, over 2,000 years?
Wow, that long.
Oh, yeah. Just think about the waves of people. Celts, Romans, all those different Germanic tribes.
Right.
Then Slavs, French Huguenots, fleeing persecution, and more recently, large numbers of Turkish migrants. They've all passed through or, put down roots.
So much movement.
And this constant flow, this settlement history, it's left a really undeniable, visible mark on the people there today.
Okay, so you've got this incredible history woven into the land itself. How does all that ancient mixing and moving actually show up in how people look now?
Well, it shows up in lots of ways.
Let's maybe start with some numbers.
Yeah.
Eye color seems like a good place to begin.
Perfect starting point. It shows clear variations.
Okay, so eye color. It's a great way to see these regional differences. I saw a 2017 genetic survey. It found around 61% of Germans have blue or gray eyes. Now that's, a majority.
Sure, over half.
But it's far from everyone. And what really jumps out is how skewed it is geographically.
Oh, so?
Well, that blue-gray number shoots up to 75% in the north.
Okay, much higher.
But then it drops quite a bit, actually, down to just 48% in southern spots like Bavaria or Baden-Württemberg.
Wow, that's a big swing.
Right. And green eyes, they're pretty rare, only about 12%. But brown eyes, more common, especially out west of the cities and in urban areas with more recent immigration.
It really does make you wonder, doesn't it? Why such a clear north-south divide within one country?
Yeah, what's the thinking there?
Well, scientists see a stronger Nordic gene influence in northern regions. Think Hamburg, Kiel.
Right, closer to Scandinavia. Makes sense.
Exactly. Geography and history playing out. But then you go further south, cities like Frankfurt or Munich, and you find more genetic mixing. More markers linked to Southern Europe and also Slavic populations.
Ah, okay.
It's like a living echo in the genes, reflecting centuries of trade routes, conquests, people moving from the south and east.
That's such a powerful way to put it. It really connects ancient history to what we see today. So these stats aren't just dry numbers. They're almost like a map.
Exactly.
Showing millennia of people moving, mixing, settling, all etched right into the DNA.
Precisely.
So, okay, let's imagine this. If I'm walking through a busy market square in Hamburg versus one down in Munich, beyond just eye color, what kind of subtle overall feel might I get from the crowd? How would it reflect these patterns?
It wouldn't be like night and day, but you'd likely notice a subtle shift, yeah.
Like what?
In Hamburg, maybe you'd perceive folks as being slightly taller on average, perhaps more fair complexions generally, and that higher rate of lighter eyes we talked about.
Okay.
Then head south to Munich. You'll still see plenty of light-eyed people, of course, but you might also notice a broader range. More dark hair, more brown eyes, maybe a touch more olive in the skin tone among some.
Ah, interesting.
And maybe even slightly different facial features on average, reflecting those Southern European and Slavic influences. It's not always dramatic, but the tendency is there.
Fascinating. Okay, so millennia of movement literally colored German eyes differently across regions.
Yep.
But that history, it doesn't stop there, right?
Yeah.
It surely shows up in things like skin tone and hair, too.
Absolutely.
And again, the variety here seems to go beyond that common idea of just pale or fair skin.
Yeah.
I read about a 2020 Max Planck Institute survey.
Oh, yes.
It found about 14% of German-born people actually had naturally olive-toned skin.
A a significant minority.
And crucially, they said this isn't just down to recent immigration. That hints at older layers, right? Deeper history.
Exactly. And genetics backs this up. Studies from 2019 really highlighted this.
How so?
They found that Southwestern Germans specifically carry Mediterranean alleles. Those are specific gene variants more often than people in the East or North.
Wow.
So again, it points to those ancient pathways. People moving, settling, genetic markers from the Med, finding their way north over centuries, long before modern migration waves.
So cool. So, okay, blonde hair definitely dominates in places, especially up near Mecklenburg and Saxony, maybe.
That's generally true, yes.
But brunettes aren't exactly rare. And what about redheads?
Far from rare. And natural red hair, which is always striking, occurs in about 3% of Germans.
3%, okay. Any regional hotspots?
Seems to be a bit higher in regions bordering Belgium and the Netherlands.
Interesting. It really does paint a lovely sort of mosaic of hair colors across the country.
It absolutely does.
Okay, let's tackle another big one. The stereotype that Germans are all really tall.
Ah, yes, the height thing.
It's kind of true, isn't it? On average, they are among the tallest in Europe.
The averages support that, yeah. Men around 180 centimeters, what's that, 5'11"?
About that, yeah.
And women average 166 centimeters, so roughly 5'5". Those are definitely tall averages globally.
But I sense a but coming. That average height probably isn't uniform either.
You sense correctly. Just like eye color, height has its nuances. It's not evenly spread.
Okay, tell me more.
Northern Germans, especially from Lower Saxony and Schleswig-Holstein, tend to average about 2 to 3 centimeters taller
Noticeably tall.
than folks from regions like Thuringia or Bavaria down south.
That regional difference is genuinely puzzling, isn't it? It sort of pushes back against the idea of just one national average.
It does.
What are researchers thinking? Why might a family in, say, Lower Saxony consistently end up taller over generations than one in Bavaria?
Well, one leading theory looks at historical factors, specifically nutrition and socioeconomic status.
Okay. How would that work?
The idea is that the northern regions, being big coastal trading hubs historically.
Right, the Hanseatic League and all that.
Precisely. They likely had better, more consistent access to diverse food sources and maybe more economic stability over generations.
Nice.
That combination could have acted as an amplifier for height, meaning each generation got incrementally taller compared to southern counterparts facing maybe different environmental or economic pressures.
Huh. A fascinating mix of environment and genes over time.
It really is.
Okay, so moving beyond single traits like height or eye color, facial structure, that sounds even more complex.
Oh, it is. A captivating tapestry, as you said earlier.
And anthropologists have apparently argued about this for ages. How to categorize German phenotypes, the physical traits you can see.
Yes, for decades, which just shows how much diversity there actually is to categorize.
So what were some of the main categories they used to talk about?
Well, they identified a few key tendencies, though it's crucial to remember these overlap a lot.
Okay, like what?
There's the so-called Nordic type. Think high cheekbones, narrower noses, longer faces, more common up north.
Got it.
Contrast that with the Alpine type. Rounder faces, maybe broader noses, often linked with slightly shorter stature, more dominant down south.
Alpine, like the mountains.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Exactly. And then occasionally, especially southeast, you see influences described as the Dinaric type, linked to Balkan genetics.
Okay, Nordic, Alpine, Dinaric. That gives a kind of framework. But I imagine some modern scientists might find those boxes a bit, well, simplistic. Maybe even dated.
You're hitting on a really important point. Those categories are useful for understanding the history of how people tried to describe the variation.
Right.
But modern genetics and anthropology think much more in terms of fluid population clusters and continuous blending, less about fixed types.
So more of a spectrum.
Exactly. But the old descriptions still help explain why some Germans might look quite Scandinavian, while others share features more common in France or Slavic countries.
Yeah.
It just highlights the sheer range.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
And of course, we can't talk about the modern face of Germany without talking about immigration's visual impact. That's huge.
Undeniable. Germany has, what, Europe's second largest immigrant population?
That's what the sources say. Nearly 20% of people living there today have a migrant background.
Wow, 1 in 5.
Yeah. And a really significant group, over 3 million people, are of Turkish descent.
And that's not just a statistic on a page, is it? It has a real, tangible visual impact on the country.
How so? Like,
Oh,
where is it most visible?
well, walk through certain neighborhoods. Berlin's Kreuzberg is a famous example, or Sachsenhausen in Frankfurt.
Okay.
You'll commonly see features like thick, dark hair, maybe deep-set eyes, sometimes more golden skin undertones. It's just part of the vibrant mix of modern Germany.
Right, a visual representation of that diverse heritage.
Precisely. Now, this does lead to debate sometimes. Some critics might frame it as changing what Germans look like, while others argue it simply reveals how fluid German identity always was. It highlights that long history of absorbing different cultures and influences.
That's a really vital point, the fluidity. It makes me think, imagine someone who last visited Germany, say, 30 years ago. If they went back today and walked through Kreuzberg, the visual experience would be quite different, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It really brings the change home. And this leads us to a big question, maybe the big question. Is there still such a thing as a single German look? Because the whole idea of a typical German appearance, that's always been politically loaded, hasn't
No,
it?
absolutely. Deeply loaded. You connect it straight back to historical context.
Yeah.
Think about Nazi racial science.
Right, that obsession with defining and preserving a very narrow Aryan image.
Exactly. And then post-World War II, you see this deliberate, powerful swing the other way. Germany consciously embracing multiculturalism.
Okay.
That whole history shapes how these discussions happen today.
And those discussions definitely still happen,
Yeah.
right? Especially in things like media, sports.
For sure. Think about players like Mesut Ozil or Serge Gnabry.
Yeah.
Hugely talented athletes representing Germany.
Yeah, with diverse family backgrounds.
Exactly. And when they're on the world stage, it sparks conversation. Some people celebrate this is modern Germany, inclusive, strong because of its diversity. But others still raise questions about their Germanness, quote unquote. It highlights that ongoing tension around identity and adherence. It's a conversation that's definitely still evolving.
It really is.
And all this plays out against growing genetic evidence showing just how mixed modern Germans actually are. Those 2021 studies you mentioned finding DNA markers from over 14 ancestral groups.
14. Wow.
That makes them one of the most genetically diverse populations in Central Europe. Historians jump in here too, reminding us that identity isn't fixed, neither is appearance. They're both constantly in flux, shaped by geography, history, current events.
So after digging into all this, why do Germans look so different? It feels like it boils down to a few key things.
What are your main takeaways?
Well, first, geography. Being right in the middle, bridging east-west, north-south, was always going to be a thoroughfare, right? For tribes, armies, traders, for millennia.
The eternal crossroads. Yep.
Second, the history. Being split up for so long, kingdoms, duchies, empires all over the place. Paradoxically, that internal division actually bred diversity within its borders.
Fragmentation, fostering variety. Absolutely.
Yeah. And third, the present. Germany is a modern, migratory, interconnected nation. And that just keeps reshaping who counts as German, visually and culturally, every single day.
That sums it up beautifully. From, the Bavarian farmer with sandy hair to the Turkish-German student in Berlin with deep brown eyes. The face of Germany is just as varied as its landscapes.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's what makes it beautiful, that richness.
So for you listening,
Yeah.
what does this all mean? Maybe next time someone asks what a German looks like, you can challenge that single image.
Push back a little.
You could ask them, okay, but which German are you talking about?
Good question.
Are you picturing that tall northerner with the ice blue eyes? Or maybe the brunette baker from Stuttgart?
Or
Maybe the hijab-wearing university student in Cologne?
all possibilities.
Because what we found today is that they're all German. And they all look German, just in their own unique, diverse ways.
It's a powerful reminder, isn't it? People are never just one thing.
Exactly. And the identity of a nation. It's constantly being written and rewritten right there on the faces of its people.